Healing comes in many forms, all the colors aligned. You are free as a dove when you choose, a sovereign state of being.
And allow this product to work with the 7 color chakras in our own energy system.
Meditations can trigger DNA wisdom and memories in light, out-creating our limited chemical memories. So sit back, relax, as we take you on a journey of light and color.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Talking Stick Show live call-in show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this space. So I'd like to welcome the incredible co-host we have. We have Laura Massey. Hello, Laura.
Thank you, Dale. Hi, everybody. Hi, guys. Good to be here.
And we have Maty Waller. Hello, Maty.
Hello, everyone.
And we have the Andrew the Snorkel Bartzis with us. Hello, Andrew.
Yo, how's it going?
Yeah. How are we doing? All good. Good.
I couldn't sleep the last 3 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So what have we got in store today then, Laura?
What have we got in store?
Is it not the 100th episode?
Say that again, Andrew. You're chopping up a bit.
Is this not the 100th episode?
No, so we've got the 100th Talking Stick episode in 2 weeks. So we're looking on doing something special for 2 weeks' time. 100 episodes of Talking Stick.
So it's the 98th episode.
Yes, welcome to the 98th episode of Talking Stick Show.
What have we got in store? Well, we have got 4...
Whoa.
Okay. Don't know who that is. Perhaps you could mute a moment. We've got 4 delicious call-in people, haven't we? We're going to put our skills up here and read, I guess. Answer their questions.
And we did this 2 weeks ago, and we were on for 3 hours. It was incredible. Mm-hmm. Everyone was commenting on how great the show was, and the teachings are within the shows as well. So when we're giving you this live frequency of us doing the readings, doing the healings, it also is a healing for everyone listening. So there's many different nuggets and things you can pick out of this as well. I remember the many times I listened to the Adventures into Reality, all those years and the hundreds of episodes I listened to. Each and every show had its unique teaching within it. So there'll be a caller and the synchronicity will be there, and you'll be like, oh shit, this caller is there's something going on in my life and this caller's there, and that little bit of wisdom is going to really help me as well.
Every caller, Dale, almost every caller it was.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Yes. So guys, who should we get in first? And for all of those listening as well in the chat, we really appreciate the comments as well. We are reading all of them. Obviously, we can't get back to everyone, but we really appreciate feedbacks as well. Or any questions you want to ask, just drop them in the chat.
Make them good ones.
Yes.
That's what will get their attention.
No kale salads, no light worker salad questions.
No, or doom and gloom.
So we'll get Julie Smith on first. So we'll get Julie on.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, are you all well?
Yeah.
Yes, we're doing good. How are you doing today?
You're all looking incredibly sun. I don't know how you've managed that.
That's because we live down south.
Yes,
don't know
I
what
knew
Dale
you were
thinks
going to
of
say that, Matty. Yeah.
Hey, Julie, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good to
So
see you.
Maddie is having a bad hair day.
One is one.
Yeah,
You just won't
this little bit
agree-
here is
just
out of
won't
place.
agree
Look.
with them. So, Julie, how's your Lionsgate been?
Oh, good grief, Andrew. What a cracking question. I don't know how much inspiration people will take from this, but Lionsgate hit for me in the middle of grieving my grandma.
Oh,
She was my mother, really. I was raised with two very toxic personalities for parents. I don't know what they were doing having children, to be very honest, but they did. And I've had sessions with all you guys, apart from your good self, Andrew. And Grandma was, well, both my grandparents were there to pick the pieces up, really, and to show me what it is to have that maternal figure. They were the adult I needed as a kid. And I'm really, really lucky that I'm nearly 50 now and I've just lost her. That's incredible. And her lifespan was massive, absolutely massive. And I realised how much she shielded me from, her love shielded me from the toxicity of two incredibly selfish parents, I imagine. What did Lionsgate bring? So my grandma's house, she's lived there for 70 years. And it was a portal. Matty helped me with a particularly malevolent entity. I don't know if you remember, Matty, when we had that session. And there were one or two things in there that were pleasant and quite a few things that weren't. And towards the end of my grandma's life, she died at home, and she died in a quite tragic way. Quite a horrible death, to be honest. She got herself caught up in her rail that was to stop her from falling out of bed, and she choked. But when she was going to sleep, she kept saying to me she wouldn't have a house clearance. So I did what I could without treading on her journey. I did everything I could, as much as I could, up to the point where I couldn't, where I didn't have permission to. And at night, she kept saying, she kept describing how she was falling asleep and going into another world. And I thought, is something feeding off her, or is she just fighting the death process? And then when she died tragically, that preyed on my mind quite heavily. And then Lionsgate hit, and I can't seem to get any answers, which makes me think, am I not supposed to know? Am I just to accept her death and know that she's passed on and she's all right? Since my grandparents have passed, I've known them on an ancestral level more than I ever did when they were on this earth plane. But I had that grandma because it's so soon. So I don't know if to just get the foot off the pedal.
so part of the Lionsgate is what have you avoided? That which you avoided will show up.
Okay.
And in your own statement, they showed you how to love and how they shielded you.
Yeah.
What are some of the other lessons they taught you in your life? It's a review of the many lessons. That's your Lionsgate with them.
Okay.
Because in the review, you'll know the magical moments that they taught you.
Yeah. Yeah. They taught me how to forgive, how to have that upper lip and put your lipstick on and your big girl pants and carry on. Have some decorum. Yeah, they did. And I suppose this summer holiday, because I work in a school, this is the first summer holiday where I haven't been every day, but I have to walk past the house and it's just not the same anymore.
When did she cross over, Julie?
6th of June.
Okay.
Yeah. So they taught me actually to be a little bit more frugal with money than I perhaps have been. I think when you're bringing children up quite young, which I did, I tried to overcompensate and make sure that they didn't look like they were suffering compared to their friends. And I think realistically, I should have just been a little bit more frugal, perhaps. And that's been on my mind as well. Perhaps that was a lesson I need to look at. But yeah, the the tragic nature of a death that's bothering me, I think. And
Yeah,
for a little
part of this journey is to actually write down the many lessons that they taught you, and
right,
how you passed on some of these lessons to yourself or others.
okay,
Because as you said, you've known them for many lifetimes. This
Mm.
isn't the first lifetime that they pulled you out.
no.
Okay? So what are the common themes they taught you that you were able to teach others?
Right, okay.
What wisdom did you pass on generation to the next generation?
Love, I think.
Huge. What about
Massive.
love? What about what love did they teach you?
Very different. My dad's mum had more fun in her.
Yeah.
My mum's mum, who's just died, was more traditional, but with a wicked sense of humour. Very different characters, and I needed both of them.
And what did they teach you as a woman who had to love other people?
Yeah, I think my mum's mum taught me to just make sure everything looked all right. And really, I should have been a bit more honest about the state of play. But that's her generation, where you didn't let on to things like that. You just got on with it. But whereas my dad's mum had more freedom and spirit around her.
And did you take on that freedom of spirit?
Yeah, and sometimes at the wrong time in my life. And sometimes I didn't quite get the lesson right at the right point in my life and made wrong decisions. And when I've reflected back and visited younger selves, I thought, I know I've got that wrong. That's the lesson. And they've come through, well, my dad's mum's come through it and give me such profound advice when I needed it, that it's almost been like an electric shock of waking up, which has been amazing. So, yeah. So, would you suggest going back and journaling this then?
Yeah, it was really important to journal all the different wisdoms they taught you. Just the fact that you got that emotional energy, you know that there's more to uncover.
Yeah.
Here's another little thing to think about. They were powerful people. Why couldn't they teach their own children?
No, that's a point.
This is the generational thing again. This is the ancestral wisdom. They chose children who were not going to hear them.
Did they?
Okay? They chose children that were not going to hear them.
Wow.
But their children's children heard them. Wisdom skipped a generation from your mother and your physical mother and father, and found its way to you.
Wow. Oh, that's quite touching me. I haven't really cried. Andrew!
And now when you have what about your children and their children's children?
Yeah. Really strong. And my grandchildren.
Okay. What wisdom do you have to teach your grandchildren?
Oh gosh, I pour it into them like a cup, whether it overflows and they don't hear it or not.
You'll take example from both mothers.
Yeah, very much so. I take that grandmother's shawl and wrap it. I wrap it round not only my children and my grandchildren, but I wrap it around all the children I work with at school.
Okay. I just want you to visualize this for a minute. We're going to do a little healing on you.
Oh.
And both your grandmothers come to you and lay the grandmother shawl on you. Look to your left and to your right, and you see both of them laying the shawl on you. This is the chance you get to say the words you didn't get to say.
I feel them all the time. I feel out
now speak to them.
Within me. I feel like they're in every cell of me.
Because they are, but now speak to them.
Annie Pauline, you had such a tough start in life, and when I think of joy, not and a giggle, and standards, And Nana Eileen, you are just such a phenomenal power. You could have, you really could have been. And I feel you stood behind me all the time. And I hope that you can learn through me and know how much I love you both.
Okay. I want you to feel them help you out of your chair and start walking to the future. And as they let go of you, they have never left you. They're waiting in the future for you with memories.
They are.
Okay.
I looked at my granddaughter before Laura's session, and my dad's mum, her face overlaid on little Bella's face. And I thought, is she with Bella or now? Is she looking after my grandchildren? Is there an aspect there? Is it chance for me to be grandparent to her?
Yes. And more. She's now watching out for your grandchildren so you can grow into the grandmother.
There's a strong level of protection around me.
Yeah.
And I know that comes from ancestral protections.
Okay. So what those grandmothers, what do they, in their heart of hearts, what do they want for you to grow? They know you like the back of your hand.
Yes.
What do they want in your life that will make you grow in love and hope and faith?
They want me to not wander anymore from my nature. And they want me to not try and fit in and just be me. And I'm lucky I'm in the right job. I'm in the right place with my grandchildren and my children. And just to keep being that steady influence in their life, steady, instead of chop and change. I didn't have consistency. Didn't know where I stood from one minute to the next.
Okay.
And they want that steady road for me.
What words do you have to them about that steady road? How can you assure them you'll be on that path?
I feel like I'm on a train now and there's no getting off it because I'm so happy that I know the pitfalls and the back doors, as you say. I know what aspects of me force me off that path. I know when rebel takes over. I know when warrior takes over. And there's no need for any of those anymore. I've nothing to prove.
Then I want you to tell them, I'm now going to retire the rebel inside me.
I will retire. It's tired, it's gone. Cold.
Okay?
Withered.
Withered. And
Withered.
replaced by another youthful innocence.
Yes.
Okay? That will help you grow without having to rebel. That will help you find passions and love that will help that future be so much easier for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh. I've worried about it.
And now for the one that you felt had a tough death. She did not have a tough death.
Did she not?
Well, for a few moments it was. But there were ancestors on the other side waiting for her. Because she did her mission. She passed on the wisdom in love. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's time for you to mourn the good mourning for her. It's time for you to cry the tears that need to be cried.
Yeah.
Okay? But do not get lost in the tears.
No, because she's not gone. She's here. I can feel her.
Right. Now say to her, I release you
I really do.
from any thoughts I had of you having a bad death.
And any thoughts I have of you having a bad death and suffering, I just
Because I know you're strong. I know you were stronger than that.
yeah, I know you're stronger than that. You are.
And in my weak moment of losing you,
And in my weak moments of losing you,
I was reminded of how strong you really are.
yes, I am reminded of how strong you really are.
And what witty thing would she say back to you now?
She'd say, oh, you are being silly. I used to say to her when she was really
Go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh.
What about her wit? What did she teach you about her quick wit?
Oh, she was naughty. She was married to the ultimate prude, my grandfather. And my grandmother had the dirtiest sense of humour. She could turn anything into an innuendo. She was like a walking carry-on film. And she used to
So give us an example of some of her great lines.
Oh, good grief. So the last 4 months of her life, and she'd be struggling with pain, and I'd say, Nan, I work in a really rough school that orders 3 really bad. If you want, but only if you want, I can ring that man on that estate, and he'll come round and he'll book you off if you want. You've had enough. She'd look at me down her glasses, and then she'd say, "Not today, dear. I'm having my feet done." And
My nan was like that.
was she?
Mm.
Like, she had no filter. Absolutely not.
No.
I took her shopping for some shoes, and there were a young girl trying some shoes on, and she was quite a chunky lad, and she had a bit of an inappropriate set of clothes on that revealed a bit too much, and I could see my nan looking at her, and I thought, please don't, please bring this size of shoes quickly, please get me out of here. And then really loud, she said, look at her, and I went, Nan, don't. And she said, you'll get vaginal flu with a skirt that short. To me, and I'm like, no, it's not a thing.
She'll get vagina flu. That's awesome.
Oh, is it a thing?
Now, you have got to use that line on one of your grandkids when they go out too inappropriately dressed. Wisdom from your great-grandmother.
Vagina flu.
Yep, vagina flu. That's wit.
Oh, thank you so much, Andrew.
You're
I feel
welcome.
better. I feel released.
Yes, and no vagina flu for you.
No, I'm cold.
So earlier this week, so I'm an American in Britain right now, and I'm trying to get used to some of these British sayings. And I told Laura I would help her straighten out her drawers because the pots and pans of the drawers that she has here were in an odd shape. And she just started laughing loud. I'm like, what?
So Julie would get that because that was our grandmothers who used to use that, wasn't it? Drawers.
Yeah. What a good friend you've got.
Exactly.
Those older words are dying out, though, aren't they? Like my nan used to say, the wireless. You know, whenever she talked about the rate of the wireless, the pictures for the cinema.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of old words that have just gone now for that generation.
Yeah. Taught me the word pigeon, which I didn't realise. A stool pigeon is one of those people at work that hide in the shadows and report back.
Stool pigeons.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. But we all know one. Right.
And Julie.
Oh yeah, we all know.
Julie, do you remember our grandparents would have said if they were going to the loo, the toilet, they would have said going to spend a penny because it was a penny you had to put in the slot. And they'd say going to spend a penny. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would? Or, and the little...
You cut
Did you always have a bottle of sherry somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
My granddad used to say he went doctors when he went to the pub, and I thought he was seriously ill for years growing up. Really worried.
What was the going to see a man about a dog? Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I never knew what that meant. I'm going to see a man about a dog.
Sounded like you're picking up drugs from what
Yeah.
I grew up with.
But they had some crazy beliefs as well. Things that, like, one of my nans was quite, the old wives' tales and things like that, and she believed them all. She used to say that you could turn a baby's brain by throwing them around too much. There was all kinds of, because we would play with the kids. You're like, oh, you'll turn her brain. Weird shit like that doesn't even mean
Wash
anything,
your mouth out with bleach as well.
Yeah. Right, she was full of them. Yeah.
Who was given sugar sandwiches? Anybody have sugar sandwiches?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. They were good, weren't they?
Yeah, and basket.
And what?
They used to make us in a thunderstorm. More my Irish nanny, my dad's mum, used to make us open all the doors and windows to let the lightning out.
That's the poltergeist energy.
Yeah.
Gotta let out the poltergeist energy. That's that lightning energy. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, used to make us touch that door handle that's massive and metal.
So, Julie, it's been an honour, sister.
It's
thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
And thank you for calling and great to see you. And
Yeah.
when you do...
Write down your grandmother's book of wisdoms so you can teach them. Yes.
Yeah.
I will do.
The red grandmother.
Have a great day. Good luck.
Have a great day, sister. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Bye, Julie. Thank you.
So next, guys, we're going to bring Leonie in onto the show.
Hi.
Hello, Leonie.
Hi. How's everybody?
Good. How
How's
are
it going,
you?
sister?
I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm all right. But I've had a bit of a weird day. But
Where are you calling from?
I'm in Huddersfield, West Yorkshire.
Up north.
Yorkshire.
She's Leonie's done quite a few of my workshops face to face before.
I've done a lot of
So
work.
I was just there in Land of Sheep.
Yes.
The land of Wi-Fi.
You'll be returning. You'll be returning to the land of sheep soon.
Oh, God.
So what's happening in your world, Leonie?
Well, a lot really. I had loads of things that I wanted to talk about, and today it's kind of all gone out of my mind. But when is it Julie, the lady that was on before? When she'd started saying some things about her grandma and stuff, it kind of triggered me a little bit. I don't know if that's the right word, but I've had my grandma recently died, and then I had another family member we've had 3 deaths in a really short period of time, and I've not experienced anything like that before. So it's been a bit bittersweet because the family's not very close, and we've all kind of tried to come together for this. But it's just had it's left me with a lot of mixed feelings. I don't really know how to put it into words, really. I don't know.
When my grandmother died, it was like the death of the matriarch, and the whole family just fell to pieces. But before that, she was very, very... She held the family together, you know.
Yeah.
But then,
I didn't really know her very well, to be fair. I didn't really know her. I went and I paid my respects, and I'd spoke to her, and I had something that I wanted to give her, and I kept forgetting it. And then the day that we went over, I'd forgotten it again. So I was like, oh my God, and just as I was getting out the car, a feather fell. So I thought, so I'd give her that. And then I'd wrote her a little note, but I just feel a little bit out of sorts with everything and everyone. Not personally, but it's just we've never really all been close, and we didn't, it's even now it's still very split. So I'm just
What split the family?
a lot of things, a lot of things happened. Like, I didn't grow up around my parents, and I've realised that it's actually more of a cycle, because we're just all separate. Even like with siblings, we're all not together, and I don't know how to change it. Like, I do a little bit of ancestral work, not as much as I used to, but I do connect with my grandparents in spirit, and I have for a very long time. And I know they're around me, but I just feel confused about, like, where's life gonna go, and how I don't know. It's just made me feel very weird. And then hearing Julie speak about it today, I thought, I've never been on a live like this where someone's had such a similar experience, and the knock-on effect that it actually has. You go through life thinking you're okay, don't you, and everything's fine, and then we'd gone over there, and it was all like really just mixed emotions for me. I didn't know how to take it, because
Are you in a relationship now?
no, I don't know. I'm all by myself, little old me.
By yourself.
Children.
So it's kind of amplified for you right now.
Yeah, I just think, like, there's no support.
When was the
You know
last
what I
time you
mean? I don't want to get emotional. I swore I wasn't going to do that. But I feel really, like, overwhelmed all of a sudden. But I'm glad
there's
to be
infinite
here.
support if you want to let it.
It's just hard. Everyone's got their own views, their own experience, their own outlook on how things have turned out, and everyone's been affected so differently.
So let's let everyone go for this conversation and make it just about you.
I know, but I don't know where to start.
It doesn't matter.
I'm
You've got
happy in
four,
life.
you got four really good psychics here who can find all the things you're avoiding.
When was the last time you had a relationship? How long ago?
I've seen her. The last time I saw, it's actually funny that the last time I saw her was exactly 8 years ago on the day of the funeral. And like, you have your Facebook memories, and something had popped up that I'd said I was driving over, and I said to my uncle, I said, how strange is that? But even then, it was very brief, a 10-minute here and there, and she didn't speak much. To me,
so
anyway.
when's the last time you were in a relationship?
Yeah.
Or me? About 8
Not anyone
years
else
now.
but you. You're going off to other people again. We're talking to you.
Oh, it's been years, like years.
How many years?
About 7. I was probably single before that. I just didn't know it. But yeah.
Why?
Because I thought we was building something, and he obviously was doing other things that was out of my control. And then
when did it end?
When I was pregnant officially, for me, like, I'd fallen pregnant, and we discussed it, and she wasn't planned, but there was a discussion there. Do you know what I mean? And I was open to speaking to him about it, and he didn't have any children, and I'd know him for a little bit before that, and he seemed like a nice guy, and I thought, I've done the right thing here, because my previous relationships have not been like that. And then I was like about 7-8 weeks pregnant, and he said he was going abroad to see his dad, and I didn't see him again until he came back. But that was something that was even hard for me to admit for such a long time. One, I was embarrassed, if I'm honest, because I already had 2 children. I didn't have the best upbringing, and I really wasn't ready for another child. I love her to pieces. Like, she's like my little blessing, and she's a lot of the reason why I'm on this journey now is because of her, because I wanted a calmer life, and I was looking for alternate ways to heal, and then I found the Reiki, which led me to Dale, and he's been stuck with me ever since, haven't you, Dale?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? So I want you to try and answer this as best as you can. So why haven't you let love in for so long? And if you can answer that with honesty, so go ahead.
Truthfully, because I feel like I want to meet someone that I can be my true self with. Like, I don't know very many men that are I don't know how to put, they all
Loving.
seem to stem
Loving.
from the and they all seem to kind of stem from the same type of
the fairy
So
tale.
I'm
The
going to
fairy
ask everyone, does everyone feel that's true?
The fairy tale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe in. It's not that I want a fairy tale. It's funny, me and my brother
Yes,
were
you
on
do.
about this today.
You have
bar's
set the
too
bar
high.
so
Set
you
the
have
bar
set
too
the bar
high.
so high. The bar
Do you
is so high
think?
it can only be a fairy tale. You've set the
I
bar
don't
so
even
high.
know where to go to meet people. Like, I'm always in my house.
Thus,
I got so shy.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
the,
Sort of helps to
But
go
I
out
would
on
like, I would
dates.
like to meet someone, but I'd like. I want to feel safe with a man, and that's.
you're going to only feel safe inside yourself. The man's not going to there to make you feel safe. Otherwise, it's a codependent relationship.
Oh, that is very true. Actually, you're right. I don't know.
and you're just giving yourself the gift of actually getting out and doing things and trying to challenge yourself as what is it that I actually want to do. And you go out to make friends. You know, you
And
go
go
out
get your
to
tubes
actually,
tied. Go get your tubes tied.
yeah.
Oh,
Have some fun.
no more babies, not for me. anytime
Go get your
soon.
tubes tied. Dale.
Yes.
I joke about that all the time with my mum.
It's all come back to me now.
Yeah, I do. I joke about it all the time with my mum. She's like, "You're too young for that," but I feel like I'm happy with my
So
children.
how often
Yeah.
do you go out and socialise? What
She
is a
doesn't.
week?
She just said it.
Okay.
I go
So
to the supermarket.
you're gonna have to start.
But not
You're
like
gonna have to start.
the type of like I don't want to meet someone like in a nightclub when do you know what I mean? Like I want to meet someone
No.
like organically.
That's why you've got to have interest.
won't
and
if
you've got
you
to have things
stay
that you do.
No, but it
That's what-
doesn't interest me. Going out like it. I don't know. Clubbing and stuff is just not for me anymore. I don't feel like I fit in. I don't
That's fine. You don't have
want
to
to be
club.
out past
Well,
12. I want to be at home in my bed.
once again, you're putting the bar up awful high.
So I need
I
to
could
start
only
getting
meet
out
people.
there.
I can only meet people in the grocery store before 11 o'clock.
Me and my friend has a joke. She calls it Single Saturday. She's like, if you want to meet someone in Asda, go shopping on a Saturday evening. She's like, they're all in there.
You can go try speed dating.
Maybe, I don't know.
The whole point of it is if you don't like them, move on to the next one. Okay?
Try it. My mum signed me up for Married at First Sight, once. That was well embarrassing.
That was another-
I'm not doing that.
That was another fairy tale.
Yeah. Imagine though. Imagine. I mean, it must work for some, but no.
Do you like
And
dancing,
the irony
Leonie?
of your Facebook name as well,
I
Leonie
used
sparkles
to.
at the
I
end.
dance around the house. But
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
like I don't know. We have hip hop and stuff. Other clubs around here where you can go to and learn to dance, but also or a Zumba or something like that, or some. If you like dancing, then that would, that's always a good place to meet people.
someone to just-
Generally,
Does it have to be a man?
Guy,
Does it have to be a man?
preferably, yeah.
Okay.
I do always make a joke though and say like if I were dating for looks, I'd date women. Yeah, but-
Okay. Okay. Preferably a man. Okay. Now, how do you preferably meet a man if you only go to the grocery store?
Well, no, I do go out, but not the type of places that around here.
Yorkshire, College Town.
Yorkshire, say that again.
Yeah. Yorkshire.
Andrew's up on his Yorkshire slang now.
No.
But yeah, they're just not the type of clubs I'd go into, and a lot of people in there now are a lot younger. I do tend to find. that I
Okay.
meet
So,
younger men.
what alternatives to clubs are there?
I don't know. I'm hoping universe is just
The
going to
land of sheep and coffee shops.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
She's still
Don't
got a
drink
young
coffee
head on.
though.
That's what's going
Wow.
on here.
It
still
took
got
me
your
to
young
point
head on.
that out to you.
That is actually a really good idea. I might try something. I'll challenge myself and do. I don't know where I'll go. Like I'm gonna have to.
'Cause it's not all about peacocking and drinking loads of alcohol and parading yourself in front of people. Like that's not where
Yeah.
you're going to find the kind of thing that you're looking for. That's what you would have done when you were young. I wouldn't be able to go into one of those places now. You've got to reinvent
Yeah,
yourself
that's
as
how
who
I
you
feel
are now.
though. Like my friends will, want to go somewhere, and I'm up for it. I like getting ready and stuff. And then within an hour of being there, I'm like, no, I want to go home. I just feel like it's not. I need to find something new, a new hobby, I suppose.
Yeah, but why can't you just have fun after an hour? Why? Because there's all the old use. You can't have fun at a club if I'm not looking for.
It's not that. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's
yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You're just to me, like, I'd rather go to a bar or somewhere and my friends aren't like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather go. Do you know what I mean? So it's
you want to go to a place where you could hear people talk and the dance music is not so loud you can't even hear yourself think.
No, it's not that it's not the music. It's just more the environment, like the type of places. They're gonna kill me for this.
The
type
predators.
Of places, like the go are very, like, to me, like, just run down and dives. Really, like, that's no judgment on anyone. It's just not somewhere I'd go. So, and I've tried it a few times. My friends had me out a few times, and I've been like, never again. Just no.
And it always kicks off at the end of the night.
Yes,
this is it. And then there's the predators walking around and the blokes wanting to fight each other, and it's just horrible.
What about live music gigs, Leonie?
It's Yorkshire.
We have gigs up there.
Andrew turning to the dark side like me.
What about like salsa dancing or some dancing during the day, which a lot of people go and they may have a few drinks, but they're not party people, but they are people who let loose. Because I definitely think you're going to have to start working on the socializing skills, especially if you need to meet someone. You've got to get that feeling of being around people, being around new people again, because it's going to scare you a little bit when you go out there. But if you keep going back and back, and eventually it'll feel comfortable. And that's the thing with me, what happened to me. I had to make little steps to get that socializing back. And as Andrew calls it, the socializing muscle. You have to start doing the weights. You have to weight train again.
And if you go out to one of those scenarios where there's lots and lots of people, like I did it myself, I realized I'd had the same thing. I'd lost my social skills, and I went to a pub and sat there, and I wasn't talking to anyone. Everybody's talking to each other. So it was really demoralizing. So I think that the thing is also to go with anybody, as well. Yeah. So you're not just sat there like a lemon.
As well, because like I had my twins when I was 15, so my whole life has really been at home. And do you know what I mean? So the odd time that, like, I'm just not in that circle. So it's if you something that you're not used to all the time, like, and I don't understand how, because like there were times when I was younger and I'd go out and I'd have such a great time, but as I've got older, I've just.
How old are you now?
I'm 33.
33.
You're over the hill. You're over the hill.
Yeah, no hope now.
Well, I started at 33.
So
no, but I do feel in a lot of other ways my life's improved loads. I feel a lot calmer, and I think I manage better. It's just more emotional stuff, like, and when you're by yourself and you're sat and you're thinking, it's. I can.
Well, the thing is, when you've had the babies,
how's that working out for you?
Not great, Andrew.
Which tells you what.
Clearly it's not, because I'm here, like, guide me through life, guys. Help me, please.
Look, David Ellis has just joined the show. David, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good. We're here talking to a young lady who has lost her social skills, has been single for 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And has set the bar very high.
Yes, fairy tale high.
Dr. Love David, have you got any advice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're asking me this because I'm all the way up in Saskatchewan, right?
Yes.
I know you're asking me this specifically. I'm going to guess that she's trying to step up in life in a different kind of way, correct?
Yeah.
And you don't want to be dealing with the grind that you came from, correct?
Yes. Yeah, he's wording this perfectly for me.
Right.
It actually is, like, yeah, it's right.
Right, and as a result of that, you just don't want to be in situations where you have to actually deal with a bunch of crap and then have to fix it and so on. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. And
so,
it's hard as well when you do meet someone and you put that time in.
Laura.
Sorry. Go on, what were you going to say?
Yeah, no. No, I understand where you are coming from. The difficulty that you're going to have is that the place where you're trying to step into. Let me get some earphones because our producer is telling us that I need earphones. The area that you're going to need to step into is occupied by 0.0001% of the world's population. I swear, Andrew and I had an idea some years ago, and I don't know what I'm going to make it happen, Andrew, of creating a dating site for people that are not crazy. Okay?
Good.
We are I am definitely going to make that happen because it's not that you don't want to interact with people. It's just that you don't want to have to deal with the shit. Okay? And everybody, all of y'all except Dale, look at the smile on your face. You are the odd one out. Just so that we're clear. All of us, because you're happy, right? You struck gold, right? I think all of us don't want to have to deal with that stuff. On the other hand, if you don't deal with that stuff, are you being avoidant? Think about it.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, I want to take two different ways of approaching this. Realistically speaking, 0.001% of the world's population want to enter into a space where they don't have to deal with all this crap, right? Mm-hmm. So you have the rest of the 99 point whatever percent of the population. Mm-hmm. They're either into drama, they're into some other shit that is going to be detrimental to your life, or they have no respect and stuff like that. I get it. And then you further isolated yourself because you're hanging out with people like us. That brings you down to the negative percentage, right?
It's a nicer space to be in.
Life, hoping that you run into somebody with a spiritual outlook.
Yes. But where are they?
All right, wow. Do you see the things you've done to yourself? Like, honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I'm not saying, I regret nothing. But if you were somebody who likes drama and doesn't mind getting drunk and doing stupid shit, your pool of people that you could possibly meet would be infinitely greater. Okay? Yeah. But you've chosen another path. That is the road that is less traveled by a lot of people. And it's not that these people do not exist. They're very spaced out all over the world. Okay? So your powers of manifestations, I suggest you seriously concentrate on them, right? And try to manifest things. And then you have people that make their life even more difficult by going to live in remote areas of the planet.
Like Yorkshire.
Areas of the planet.
I love how he says that. I love how you say Yorkshire.
Honestly, how many people in the audience are living this kind of life where they just don't want to deal with the nonsense anymore?
The vast majority of us.
I definitely am.
The vast majority of us.
Yeah. Dating site is on its way. It's on its way. Because this problem is getting a little bit out of control. Because a lot of people, they choose the life of spirituality, but it also is a life of being alone a lot of the times. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Except she has 3 children, so she's never truly alone. And
well, I kind of am now. My eldest 2 have moved out, so it's just me and Isla at home now.
Okay. But you still have to have an innocent conversation with her. You still have to be the mother.
Yeah.
So you're not an adult. You're not an adult most of the time, and you don't have the adult social skills, which are. It's not how you doing and back and forth. Yeah. It's regular emotional context and conversation that have nothing to do with sexuality.
Yeah.
Letting a person in.
Yeah.
You see, this is the problem. A nice one, Andrew. I got that pun. Right. Right. Here's the thing about spirituality. Even at its base levels, you gain some kind of psychic awareness, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you could see shit coming from around the corner, right?
Yeah.
And when you see it, it's like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this, right?
I am very like that though, as well.
You gain some level of awareness, and I think that's part of the problem. I suppose you could see it from a different point of view. The truth of the matter is, if you attempt to look at people who are coming at you with all that chaos around them, and you attempt to help them with the chaos, then you're interfering.
Yeah.
If you avoid them, then you might be being avoided.
Yeah. This is making a lot of sense.
Right. That you're trying to be avoidant. So honestly, my suggestion to you is work on your powers of manifestation a lot of the times, but you can't pigeonhole yourself into the supermarket, right? And you need to go out, right? If for anything else, you can actually assist your friends in discerning when shit is coming in their direction.
Yeah, you could be the boyfriend weathercaster.
Yeah, that might be a good move for me. That. That's right.
You have favorable boyfriend wins.
Yeah.
Warning: relationship tornado coming.
You know what?
That's actually a good move.
It could.
It would.
Yes,
I might have to have a think about that.
Yes, because if you do all the manifestation in the world, you have to actually help that manifestation by putting yourself into situations where you might actually come across somebody walking across your path that is actually matching frequency.
Yeah.
And there's loads of spiritual communities where around your area, Leonie, there's absolutely loads. If you research on Facebook, there's loads of hubs of set up around the area you live in. So if you go to regular events where there's big, like 30 people there, you're bound to find someone who you may be interested in. It's just a matter of you telling yourself, counseling yourself, right, I've got to get up once a week. I've got to test myself to go out there, try and engage with people, feel confident. Don't go up to them and start getting stage fright. Just be yourself. And you never know, do you? Then you could even, if it doesn't work out, you could even have a bit of fun and have that orgasm, have that sexual experience, which is really, really needed in you at the moment. Yeah. Just and someone to really shift things up for you.
Dale. Yeah, even female friends, because each friend that you make, if you make a friend who's a genuine person you can be around, then she has a doorway or a gateway into other people. You know, you've got to start doing that, not just go out there like laser focus on this particular interaction, but just make friends, open up the social circle.
Imagine this: you started a little psychic business called the Boyfriend Whisperer or Girlfriend Whisperer. Okay, whisperer.
That's a good idea. That would make a lot of money.
Okay? Now, marketing included, it could actually be quite fun for you. Okay.
I think I'd have a laugh doing something like that, actually.
Yeah, because at that point, it's all just passing on good relationship advice.
If for someone that's not been in a relationship for hours.
They ask you. So.
I would also like to point out something to the lady. Even in this community, the 0.001%, not everybody is matching frequency.
Right.
Okay? Because just this morning I showed Andrew a couple on Facebook. They're both spiritual people, right? But it's a competition as to who's more crazy. Okay? And so even in this community, you're going to get that kind of thing. You're not going to get the same kind of stress, but you're going to get a different kind of stress with regard to people. Yeah? So you got to be careful with regard to what it is that you want to do. But yeah, I suggest that you go out and you actually meet people and talk to them. Like,
I was going to laugh at this when I tell her to watch it. She'll be like,
so here's a little information. I've been single for 5 years. But I haven't lost my social skills. Yeah. I haven't lost my social skills.
You're on the internet and stuff every day and you do lives like this. For me, when thingy yesterday, I was like, oh God, I'm so nervous. I've never even been on like a live like this. And now I am. So it can be done, I suppose.
Okay. In that 5 years, have I had wants, needs, and desires? Sure. I don't let them run me. I don't let them run me. Okay. What runs you right? What runs you right now in that emotional field of relationships?
I just feel like I don't know if I'm ready to really put myself out there yet. I feel like there's a lot of things that I need to get right with myself.
Which
but also
are
setting boundaries and stuff like with men. I think a lot of the time, like in past relationships, things that I really should have pulled on and called out, I've not, and then you just you get into a cycle of just don't say
you'll
out
never,
because then
you'll never
you
know
do
if you changed. If you
it, or
try. You'll never know. You'll never know if you've changed if you don't try.
I think
It's just getting some practicing.
Yeah.
That's why I said I've never stopped, because I am looking. Have I made the changes in myself?
Yeah.
Have I created the borders, boundaries, rules, and things that I need in a relationship moving forward, which are friendships first?
Why don't we run through the screening process? Shall I?
Yes.
Yes.
Go on.
Okay. So, there are attachment styles in relationships. Okay. Anybody want to pull up the attachment styles and let's run through it? Are you avoidant?
This is so funny because it's not what I was expecting at all. This is like an area of my life that I stay away from.
I'm gonna do a screening of yourself. I want to do a screening. Let's do a screening.
Okay.
Are you avoidant?
Yeah.
So you avoid things in relationships that make you feel uncomfortable, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand that you're avoidant.
Yeah.
Do you think that your avoidance is actually avoiding the whole spectrum of relationships as well?
Could have a point, maybe. I think with things that are if I care and my heart's involved, then I struggle with I struggle with it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I just think I don't want to start the argument. I don't want to. Like, so yes, my experiences, it's always been, once things have ended, there's always been like an attack after, whether it's been verbal or whatever, and it's dragged out and dragged out. So when I made the decision to not be in a relationship, because one, I just didn't want it, to be fair. But now it's like, how do I not go into something having that same like expectation that it's going to happen, because it's happened every time. I don't know how to word it. I don't know how to explain what I mean. I'm not a pushover in any sense, and this is why I struggle with myself, I think, because I'm in a lot of other circumstances and a lot of my other relationships with family, friends, I will stand up and say what needs to be said. But I think I've just felt that when I've let myself be vulnerable, or they've seen that I'm vulnerable, or that there's something, I'm not feeling right, or I'm not happy, I feel like I'm taken advantage of then. And my anger, if I get to that point, then I'm crazy, or I've got issues, or, it's just things that anyone, wouldn't like to hear, but someone from my background, it's not.
You've got to think as well, that person 7-8 years ago, look how different you were to who you are now as well.
Oh yeah.
Like you're going to be going out with the manifestation of you, the person who's done the work, done all the trainings and so on, and you're going to find different people. Those old fuckers back then, you won't be finding them again.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Are you the same person you was 7-8 years ago? The answer to that is obviously no. So there's an expectation there.
Than I was. Like I'm more willing to stand up and say something. Like, I'm not going to be walked all over.
But it's also about being smart. It's about noticing when those things are, or reading the signs early on, having those clear boundaries that you set for yourself ahead of time.
Yeah. I think I miss it. Like, I have had conversations in recently and stuff, and there's been little things that have niggled, and I thought I'm going to give it a go. And when I did, everything I didn't want, that's what they were. And I just thought, right, I'm done now. I'm not doing this anymore. I've put my little self out there and I'm taking myself right back home. So I think that's put me off a little bit, because I really did go in with the intention of not bringing all the crap that I've had with me, and was open-minded and trusting. And I think they just saw that and ran with it. And when I found out that it was somewhere else, it was just a bit disheartening, because you think, like, I've tried it a different way and I've got the same result.
So you need a spiritual purge, you know? You need a set of meditations, ceremonies, things like this to address that energy directly and to transmute that shit and get rid of it, and make those bold prayers that say, I'm ready to move forward as a new person.
Yeah.
I recognize these character traits and these things that were holding me back, but I will not allow them to affect my future or my present. It has to be bold.
Yeah, because there's something in you that's still attracting those sort of frequencies.
Yeah.
It's still in you because you're holding on to them.
But I don't know how to let it go, because with me, I didn't, like, we've been talking about, like, meeting someone and stuff. That wasn't even on my mind, really. Like, so now
because you're avoiding it for a long time.
It's locked in a little box.
Thrown me, Dale. I was like, hey, where's this going?
Hold on. I do want to call a little bit of bullshit. I want to call a little bit of bullshit. It's not on your mind at all? I don't think so.
No, it's not that it's not on my mind at all, but it wasn't my intention for this conversation.
Sure, this call has nothing to do. This call has nothing to do with what's on your mind. How much is it actually on your mind without avoiding the answer?
No,
when you're not talking to your daughter, you're not at work. How much is it? I'm in a single woman and I need a man. Come up in your internal debate.
Oh, a lot, but that's because everyone around me is not single.
That's why this came up, because it's all over your energy field.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Oh my God, can they see it on me? Get it off. I'm joking.
You can't erase it. You just can't erase it. Okay?
Sorry.
Okay? So let's tackle it. So when you're having these internal debates and dialogues, what is your conversation with yourself?
I'm not ready yet. The same thing will happen.
Yeah, that's how honestly I do. I do want someone. And
sure, those are the counter arguments. But what are the arguments for it? Oh, I'm lonely. I would love a man. Where's my knight in shining armor?
Do you want me to be honest? I don't know how honest I can be, really, because it's like everyone's gonna. People that watch this are gonna. Do you know what I mean? But
so what? Like,
you might as well be honest.
I was on Andrew's show years and years ago, and he was pulling me up about my sexuality problems in front of a lot of people. I've had my roasting.
Hello, he's still here.
I'm still here.
Did you cure it, Dale?
Say that again, David.
Did you cure it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It kind of, it's creeped back a tiny bit.
She was like, all I can see is a big thing, and I was like, oh my, well embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed. This is one of those moments you embrace some of the facts that are going on in your life. You're lonely.
I do feel lonely. I know I've got a family and stuff, but it's not the same,
sure,
is it? Like you said, like having
the woman who wants to love is lonely. You have a daughter you love, but you want somebody else in your life that completes the circuit of being a man and a woman in you.
Yeah,
like everybody else
on my own, and I don't know what that family unit is like, or what it should even look like. If I'm honest, like I actually don't know, because we've all.
Yes, you do. You have one right now. You created your own family unit with your own children.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of having a man in the house. Like the last time I lived with anyone, I was 21.
Cart before the horse. We're just talking about having anybody that you can converse with that's a man that might lead into something else. You don't put the man immediately into peace without the experience. That's what the old you would do.
Yeah.
Can I point something out to you? You are now fulfilling the role of a man and a woman. One of the things that are happening, what is happening to you, and I'm going to be very honest with you, which is what these guys are,
you might as well.
which is what these guys I suspect are picking up. Andrew, I'm just going to, is that when it is that you don't bask in your feminine side, your feminine energy, and you have to bring in a lot of masculine energy. It lights you up like a Christmas tree, okay? And anybody with half a little piece of brain is going to pick it up, okay? So
Okay.
there are a lot of women all over the world that are crossing over. They're not getting the transition surgery, but they might as well be crossing over. Do you feel me?
Okay.
There's something magical about being a woman, says the man on the broadcast. I really need to think before I speak sometimes. There's something magical about being a woman. It's a glow. And
Yes.
the reason why this conversation is making you slightly uncomfortable is because you haven't been in touch with divine feminine
Yeah.
in completeness for a bit,
I'm
correct?
a
I
man,
was in a
Leon.
conversation
I'm
with
not a
myself
woman.
about this today as well on the way home. I was driving home and I was thinking, like, am I soft enough, like, in myself type of thing?
Well,
So yeah,
if you
it's funny
keep
that you said that.
if you
Actually,
keep if you keep not exercising that root chakra in the counterclockwise direction, so to speak,
okay.
you're going to harden yourself. All puns intended. I mean, all puns intended. Right?
Phallus yourself.
Right?
Self-love.
Oh, this is great. I love
Right.
it.
So I'm telling you that there's something magical about being a woman, and there's a difference between male and female feminine energy, but you have had to occupy both spaces, right? And it's going to cause a bit of an issue in the
Yeah.
long run for you,
No,
because
I
you
want
might
that.
run into the man that you're looking for, the man that you're looking for,
And miss
and all
him,
he,
walk straight past him.
and all he's going to see is this big phallus in front of him, and it's, no, that wasn't so well,
Maybe
right?
not today, sir. Thank you. Knowing
But
my
this
look,
could be the argument. But
And once you kind of become a little bit vulnerable, that's when that feminine expression will just be coming out of you, where you allow someone in, having that intimacy, having that touch again, and enjoying it, and allowing yourself not to be guarded when you're about to do it, not have your programs or your past come up to affect the present. Allow yourself to have a full sexual experience with them, where there's just no holds bars, and you're really just allowing all this dense energy coming out of you from
And
all the times you didn't
sensuality.
have sex.
Sensuality as well, the ability to just be in each other's company and to touch and to be close without it being wham bam bam bam.
Yeah.
You know, just that real romantic energy, man.
Make
I
sure they
suppose
give you
I'm-
10 orgasms, not one.
Men that are like that at all. The complete
because she
opposite.
They
can't
are
let
out there.
down right
They
now.
are out there.
She's
They
not.
are
She's
out
going to have a problem because you can't let down, can you? You haven't been touched, so you can't let down. I'm
Well,
going to go surgical on this one.
it's
Let's
not.
just go surgical
It
right
depends
away.
on what you mean by that, though, because there's. I don't know how to put it. You have different experiences with different people, don't you? So I wouldn't go in as my softest self with someone that's not fully committed to me. And that's where I struggle, because I can meet people and men, and I do, but it's like you.
So
How?
can I ask you about a bunch of surgical questions?
Go on then.
Your natural state, without
Yeah.
all the bullshit, without all the stuff, you want to be loved, touched, hugged, and have somebody committed to you. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I want to be able to be emotional with a man.
When was the last time you were in your natural state?
I don't know if I ever have been, when I think about it, to be fair. I've been
Oh.
closer.
Do you see that
But-
might be a problem?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're giving me too much to work on now, guys. I'm going to be in there, like, get these lot back on the phone. We need to speak. I'm
Yeah.
stuck again.
No, I'm just the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because that natural state that you're in is the state of healing. Manifestation comes from the feminine part of yourself, not necessarily the masculine part. Okay, you need
Yeah.
both of them. You need the force of the masculine and the feminine to manifest, right? You're trying to manifest a loving relationship.
Yeah.
If you're going to try to manifest a loving relationship, you need to mix those energies. Except you might be slightly imbalanced on one side, is all I'm saying to you.
I think I
So,
definitely am, because there's not a lot of men really around, like even in family. So I don't.
There's loads of men. There's
No, but
loads
I mean,
out
like
there.
in my family type, like in my, do you know what I mean? So sometimes I don't know where
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
going with
yeah,
this
yeah.
now. Like, I don't know. This has thrown me because I wasn't expecting this. I'm not
oh
ready.
yes, that's why
So it's
you're
been a
here.
while.
You're here so that people can tell you things like this.
Yeah,
Would you like to know? We know the problem. Would you like to know a solution?
I'd love one. Yeah, Go on,
Because
help me.
the reason why you're not basking in divine feminine energy is because there's an air of vulnerability about it, and you do not feel safe. You do
Yeah,
not feel safe.
yeah. I said this earlier that I don't feel. I can't seem to feel safe around men. Not
So I
always. I'm
suspect
not saying every man, but I do always get to a point where I just think like I feel it inside. I don't know how to describe it.
I am going to make a suggestion to you that is going to seem a little bit unorthodox and a little bit crazy.
Okay, I don't mind crazy. Go on.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, you can be very visual. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah,
Laura, you might want to pay attention to this part. Right. You could be very
Thank you,
visual.
David.
Right. And so, being very visual, you can actually invent scenarios and stuff at your mind. Am I correct? And you do.
yeah, yeah. You're right,
Okay.
actually. Yeah,
All right. So may I suggest that you use your visualization powers because I can see that you have it very, very strong, right? To
yeah,
create intimate encounters in your mind. And I say intimate not as in sexual, but
yeah. I know
intimate
what you
as in
mean.
heartfelt,
Yeah,
open
yeah, yeah. I
hearted,
understand.
to start that flow back of that open heartedness, that that tidal wave of love that you have inside yourself, that you want to express to another human being, but you don't feel safe doing it because you have been through some shit. And I
Yeah.
think you're underplaying exactly how much all that shit hurt you. It hurt you a
Don't let me
lot.
cry.
Cry. Those are going to be healing tears for you to
Don't
release,
like
love.
crying.
I think it really, really hurt you and pushed you into a place, because the truth of the matter
Don't
is what
distract me
I
now,
am
pal.
picking up as a just as an idiot, but I'm just being, just don't mind the idiot on me. What I am picking up is that you have a lot of love inside of you and you don't know why it was rejected. You don't know why the open heartedness was rejected.
You're very good. You're brilliant, actually. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
and
God,
you have not
I'm
come
doing
to
so
terms
well.
because you see, you've been playing man woman for so long that the man came in and blocked you from feeling that amount of pain. You got to process that, huh?
It's
Really,
hard.
you got to process it.
I don't like sitting with stuff like that.
You got to process it
I won't
because this
try though. I'm
hardness,
gonna have to later. Now that I've told the whole world my problems.
no, you haven't. What's your problem? You tell us, like 0.00001% of the world will never even see this, right? And my point is that pain that you, this is what happened with you. This happened to you. This masculine part of you came in and numbed you to fuck out.
Yeah,
Not good.
I
Okay?
know.
Right? And you didn't experience it. So the safety, that trauma thing that you had going on there, that hurt, is going to stop you from being able to manifest. The only reason why I'm going surgical with regard to you is because I
I
could see
appreciate
that you
it.
want to
I
be a
do.
good person. You want to be a good person and you want to be a good person to somebody, and you don't know why it's not happening.
Yeah.
And this idiot that did this stuff to you, that hurt you that badly, you have to understand that he's going along with the rest of his life because he has no higher level understanding.
Yeah.
So he's living in ignorance. So he can just match with anybody of the 99% out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
you have chosen something different for yourself.
I'm glad.
And you cannot be hard like this. Okay? Only men want to try to be this hard and numb thing. You can't do that shit. It's not your natural state.
Can I say something, David, as well? And every young lady I know in the UK that had babies during school age had to develop a masculine energy, you know? And so don't beat yourself up. Don't think you've done something wrong, because it's a survival mechanism. And there was a part there where you missed out on something fundamental to your growth, you know? But you're not sitting in front of us an absolute mess, which many of these young ladies are. You know?
I love you, Maty.
Oh, that's
it's honestly, because it's close to my heart. Trust me, it's close to my heart, that issue.
No, I don't mind. I prefer it that way. I like people to just say it as it is, and because it's the best way to.
It's tough. It's tough. You went from being a child to being a mother. And then, of course, as well, if you haven't got a close family unit, if you're in a family unit that's fractured, then you're going to look for a male to be a provider. That's natural. That's definitely going to be one of those filters that you're going to be using. You know, and at that age, you don't have the social skills to pick the right men.
No, God, no.
Or dating skills, or the life skills, for that matter of fact.
Yeah, it's right.
So I want to sidestep here for a second and ask you, do you have any hobbies like writing, music, anything like that?
Yeah, I like reading. I like listening to music. I don't journal as much as I do. I should, but I try. But I think
you don't do your own writing. You don't make your own music. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. No, I don't.
What do you do?
Just what do I do, really? I enjoy I've been reading this book. What's it called now? The Conversations with Nostradamus. So I try, because like I said, I spend a lot of time alone. I'm not.
So the answer is you do nothing other than read.
No, I do loads. I do other things, but it's just life.
Tell us what. What?
Stuff.
What do you do? What do you do?
No matter how benign it seems.
Say that again.
What do you do other than reading?
I do Reiki healing. I do that every night. I send
what
them
else?
out. God, Leonie, what else do you actually do?
Nothing. The answer is nothing.
No.
You've reduced yourself to just those handful of subjects.
Because that's where I feel safest, and I'm happy.
No,
I'm not happy, but I feel that's my little piece of me that once I found it, I've kept it. Even if it's not
way more. You need to go on the expansion journey. You need a hobby that gets you out and makes you happy, no matter what the hobby is. Okay?
I don't even know what
flying kites. I don't know, knitting, sewing, music, dancing, choreography, opera.
You said about dancing just now.
Or the gym,
I do classes and stuff, but not like it's it's at the gym, so it's the same type of people that you meet. Not that they're bad or all, but I'm saying outside of that, yeah, you're right.
So let's challenge you for a second. Could you become a street mime?
No.
Why?
I don't think I could stand still for that long.
The street mimes don't stand still. They
just be mute and not. I couldn't do that. I don't know. I couldn't do that.
Can you do magic tricks, card tricks?
I'll try. I wouldn't say I'd be very good at
YouTube, you can get a PhD in card tricks in about one night. Okay?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have a kid to practice on. Okay?
That's true, actually. That's a good point.
Okay? The largest soap bubble in the world. There's a million people challenging the Guinness Book of World Record of how to make the largest soap bubble in the world right now.
Really? I don't.
Yes. The biggest one right now is like 7.5 meters. Okay, there's a specific recipe that uses glycerin and dish soap to make giant soap bubbles. You got to let yourself expand and just understand that, like, if you're going to try and make the soap bubble, you don't make a big deal, but you're going to have a good time with you and your kid, and it may pass over to something else somewhere else. Same with card tricks, learning chess. Get out there and expand. And you might meet some people. And like I said last show, it's not about opening your legs, it's making friends.
Yeah.
Okay? Just friends.
Sorry, what did you say?
So what about backgammon?
Yeah.
What's that? Is that like tennis?
Have you not played it? No.
No. What is it?
It's a board game.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Ancient
it?
board game.
It's nothing like tennis.
Really popular in the Caribbean. Some of the best players I know are Caribbean.
Greek
Really?
also, where it was born. Yes. All right.
And so all of that, Leonie, is going to expand you to having fun and that feminine side of you just to play and enjoy the moment. It's going to start flowing out of you.
Competitive monopoly is a real thing.
Oh, I get too angry though.
People make millions of dollars off of competitive monopoly.
Competitive, I'm like, no.
All right. In the States, cup stacking is a national sport for the Christians. Okay? Cup stacking, plastic cup stacking. You don't believe me? Look it up.
That is mental.
Or have a games night and invite some friends round.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I've got someone in mind that would actually
expand.
Lots of friends, or have a weekly games where you go to each other's houses and just expand the group like that. Once a week at somebody's house, take it in turns.
Something different.
Or
Right.
cooking.
The competitive World Dart Championships is coming up next month. And guess what the first prize for World Dart Championship? $7 million. $7 million if you want to learn to play darts and compete at a world level.
My uncles are quite good at darts, but I miss the board every time. Same with pool.
Good time to try, isn't it?
For $7 million, I will. Bloody hell.
Now we know your motivation.
Exactly. Okay. Then you might meet someone on the way who's in a very similar situation of you. Some psychic told them to go play competitive darts on some other part of the world at another show right now. Okay?
That would be actually hilarious. Imagine that. Imagine.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, it is.
So, David, what suggestions do you have to her beyond competitive darts and hobbies and stuff?
Well, the young lady has a spiritual bent. She wants to meet spiritual people. So I suggest you do something you've never done before. Pick up yoga in a gym. That would be the easiest and fastest way to meet people. Pick up yoga in a gym.
Yoga.
Do you think? I go there every day.
You go to yoga? Do you go to yoga?
No, I don't, because the time that the class is on, I can't make it. But
yes, well, here's the thing. They maybe other classes in other gyms at the correct time. And the reason why I say this is because you're already going down the spiritual route. And you're down at 0.0001% of the world's population of eligibility. So I suggest you put yourself in environments where you might find.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. I'm going to find something. I'm determined.
Right, go to one of those hot yoga sheds. They're beautiful.
I've never tried hot yoga.
Have a go.
But I like stuff like that, Pilates and stuff like that. I do enjoy that. So that'd be up my street. I'm going to look for.
Did you do any sports in high school?
What did I do in high school? Basketball, believe it or not, because don't know how, because I'm so short. But yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
What else?
Are you athletic?
Not in that way, but I do enjoy the gym life. That's something that I think I'll always have.
Here's a whole other world where you can meet very unique people. The world of biathlon training. Biking, swimming, running, climbing, parachuting.
I won't mind a bit of that.
Did you say Viking swimming?
Biking and swimming, yeah.
Biking.
Oh, biking. I said
Viking
swimming.
I thought you said
biking, hiking, and
swimming.
Laura, you have Vikings on your mind, Laura?
I'm not a good swimmer, so that would not work at all.
You can do climbing and hiking. There's all sorts of things. And there's a whole unique community of committed people to that idea. And it's just sometimes that commitment energy alone might attract your feminine energy to go, hey, these are like-minded people. They may not be fully spiritual, but they're committed to their growth.
Yeah.
Indoor wall climbing's sick.
Yes.
I've never tried that, but I have seen a few places, and they do look actually really cool, to be fair. But it's finding someone to go with. I'm just going to end up going there on my own.
No, go there and meet somebody and then go with them
Exactly.
next week.
Learn it.
Go there
Learn
by
it.
intention alone.
So Dale's
Okay.
microphone, I think, has packed up, and he said it's time we need to wrap this up. So we've got to say thank you
Thank
to
you very
Leonie.
much, guys. I've had a great time. I've got a lot to think about, but it's helped me a lot. It actually has helped a lot. I think that, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to sort it out.
Brilliant. Yeah, get out there. No excuses.
Yeah, kicking, screaming, dragging my feet.
Lionsgate,
Exactly.
bitch.
Yeah, get out there.
I
Let
know.
that feminine energy
It's
shine.
crazy the things that come up though. It's absolutely like, but this has actually really helped me, and I actually feel a lot better than I did.
And when you go
Brilliant.
back and listen to it, take notes.
Well,
Make
I'll
a
be
plan.
able to watch this back, won't I, as well?
Yeah, it'll be playing once the live is done. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll watch it back and cringe at myself and take notes.
Thank you, sister, for calling in.
Yeah,
Thanks so
thank
much,
you.
guys.
Good fun.
It's been great. See you later.
Yeah, well
Bye.
done, Leonie. Thank you. So we can
So,
hear you,
does
Dale.
my mic sound okay, guys?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
It's just really glitchy. Yep. So next we have Geraldine onto the show.
Geraldine, how you
Hey,
doing?
Geraldine.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey, Laura.
How are
Steven,
you?
Even people say, I'm going to see a man about a dog.
Yes. What
You know
is
what
that?
it means?
Go
It
on.
means it's like if somebody's being nosy to you and they're like, where are you going? Where are you going? You go, like, oh, I'm going to see a man about a dog.
Okay, I get it.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You might have
Yeah.
missed that earlier, David. We were talking about expressions our grandmothers used to say.
Aye.
Because
That was
I
one
told
of
Laura
them.
I was gonna go fix her. I was gonna rearrange her drawers.
All right.
Which made me laugh.
Wow,
And he
Andrew.
didn't understand why I was laughing.
A wee bit of a wedgie.
And I'm like, well, it's a bit like, oh, matron, isn't it? It's one of those moments.
Aye.
If you remember the Carry On film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hammer your back door in.
So how are you doing, Geraldine?
Well, we had the Lionsgate come in felt it a couple of days before it came in, and so was really high energy there, out doing the cold water swimming and reactivating my medicine wheel and all sorts of things like that, and then just sort of planning the coming months of what I want to do with my spiritual journey and things. So that's been a wee bit of an eye-opener since we finished with the Scotland tour, because it never quite finished for me. It kind of just kept on going. So, and that's been interesting, yeah. And then, of course, we had a wee bit of a sadness going on, to do with what's going on in Mali at the moment. That kind of triggered me a bit, because in 2017, at the time of the eclipse, there was the eclipse went over the whole of America. Our house was flooded, and we sort of kind of had to move out of our house. We lost everything and things like that. So when I was watching the footage of that, and I was like, you just feel it. It brings it back on you, So that was a little bit, sort of, kind of, I wouldn't say it upset me, but it did upset me. So, I've been sort of looking at, what you do when things like that are very prominent now in the world, and how do you kind of take a neutral point of view, as Andrew points out, and things like that, when you actually have quite strong emotions around it. So today was a day where I'd done the revocations, and sort of, see this stone here? Laura, you gave me this stone on the tour, and I thought it's a piece of rock crystal.
I think it's an Andara because the other night I put it in my hand and I was in bed and it nearly burned a hole in my hand. So I thought, right, okay, then suddenly I had another 3 of these have turned up in my life in the past few months that people have just given me. A brown one, a black one, and there's another green one around somewhere. So, I just thought, well, today's a day where I'm going out to my medicine wheel. I'm going to do some cleansing and do some revocations and just sort of work on my spiritual hygiene. So I've been sort of doing that today. Saged under my bed, saged my whole room, redone the crystals on the 4 corners of my bed and around the house. So I'm sort of feeling a bit a bit more empowered, if you know what I mean, in that respect. So yeah, I've just been wondering, the next few months, what are you changing in your life, So I've decided to pack in one of my jobs because I've got 2 jobs, and I thought, well, one of them has to go because I think I need more time for myself, And then I'm like, well, what direction are you going to go in? So I was just wondering if you picked up on anything about future directions that
Can
would
I
be
ask you a question? When was the last time you were in a relationship?
Oh, well, I don't really do relationships since my last one, which was maybe about 8 or 9 years ago. I do date, I was out with a guy a couple of weeks ago there, and I might actually ask this other guy out.
When's the last time you've been? When's the last time you've been intimate and it was good?
Oh, not for a while. Not for a while.
More than 5 years?
Oh yeah, definitely. About 8 years, probably.
30?
No. Did you say 30 years? No, Andrew. No. It's like, oh, hold on a minute. Maybe 5 lifetimes ago or something.
Okay. More than 10 years?
I would say maybe about 10 years or something.
Okay. So maybe do you think that should be on the horizon?
I think it would be on the horizon if it's not on the horizon. It doesn't seem to be getting over the hill yet.
No. You're just not making it any kind of viable goal. You're not giving it any effort or energy.
I think I have men come into my life. If the chemistry's there, or if I feel I can be bothered, then I would go.
If I could be bothered, that's a big reveal statement.
If I could be bothered,
If you could be bothered for an orgasm?
But the thing about that is, it's like, do I have orgasms? Yes, I do have orgasms.
No, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Leave the soul aside.
You're talking about the intimacy, is that it?
Might that be the future part you need balanced?
I think, if it happens, it happens. I get a lot of comfort from my male friends and sort of closeness in that respect without the sexual encounters. And
what about fun, though?
What
about fun with your male friends?
Yeah. Well,
is it time for a roll? Is it time for a good roll in the hay?
Roll in the hay.
Oh, no, I'll tell you what, Andrew. You see, if it's on the horizon, I'm going to know it's on the horizon.
Well, I'm trying to tell you it's on the horizon, but you keep avoiding that horizon.
By getting pulled into other things that are pulling you out of that sacred neutral stance. Because being sacred neutral with all the stuff from Maui is just meaning that information won't change you. Doesn't it? You can watch it without getting too entangled. And part of the reason I guess you're doing that is because you're not having fun elsewhere.
Then why would Maui burning down have any effect on you having ever intimate relationship with anybody?
I don't think it does it?
Apparently it does.
Why?
It's an easy thing to insert to avoid The intimacy part.
I'm not really. It's like if intimacy comes around my corner of life, then I will embrace it.
But
But
it's been 10
I'm
years.
not
So
going.
it's
I
been
don't.
10 years. Come on.
It's like
It's been
what's that
10 years.
saying? I don't.
It's been 10 years. At what
Yeah.
point are you going to stop lying to yourself that you're waiting for it around the corner?
When guys come my way, and if there's something there, then there'll be something there. But
It's been 10 years, by your own
don't
words,
want to
right?
have somebody in my life that it's just going to sort of be boring. A lot of the guys around here, and it has to be said, it's drink, it's drugs, it's
Oh, those arguments for limitations are so strong.
It's like if there's nice guys come around, then that's nice, and I do engage with them, but it doesn't seem to go that far that I'm going to engage with them in a sexual manner, that it's something that I feel like I need to be rushing into, really.
I'm not telling you to push into it. I'm telling you to look at it as part of your future and to not avoid it anymore. And that intimacy moving forward is something you need to balance in your life. It's not about opening up your legs. It's about opening yourself up to the skills. Because by your own words, it's been 10 years since that's even been any form of factor for you. For you to say that in your own defense, if it comes around 10 years later, it hasn't come around, right? Therefore, you must change what's coming around the corner.
It has come around on a few occasions, but I haven't been wanting to sort of go down that road. So you're pointing your finger at me.
Okay.
I'm not looking for Mr. Perfect. I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for somebody that's super spiritual. I would like somebody that would just accept me to be who I am, so I can free flow in my conversation.
So how's that statement working out for you the last 10 years?
It's on and off. It starts and then it goes. It comes and it goes. And then the thing as well about it is, and I don't know what it is, but it's like, if I really have a thing for somebody, they fucking turn out to be gay. Now I'm like, they're into fucking guys. Now I'm like, all right, okay then. And that's before I would even suss that out.
Okay, so you're gay. You're gay yourself. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I often wondered why that is. Maybe I just like a guy that's maybe a
Maybe you
little
need
bit
to convert a gay guy. Show him
inside.
what woman really is.
What's that, Andrew?
Christ.
I said maybe you need to convert a gay guy. Show him what a woman really is.
Take this, bitch.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Smack him around a little bit.
There seems to be a theme for today's show.
Yes.
Yes, it does, David.
And it's Lionsgate, so it's the things that you wanted to avoid. Tara Jacobs has a question in the chat, which is very much put in it. Tara asks, Andrew, as someone who's been in relationships, is it really such an important aspect of love? Relationships mostly seriously lacking intimacy anyways. You want to take it, or you want me to take that one?
So I love David's term the other day, transactional relationships. Have no intimacy and have no love. Is it a relationship on a transactional basis? So that's all that it is. It's a transactional based relationship. If you want intimacy and you want love, that makes a real relationship. And when you break it down to words that simple, yes, love does make a difference. Intimacy does make a difference. And love and intimacy come in many forms, and we must be willing to practice the wide variety of all of them.
Here's the thing. When people talk about intimacy, they're talking about the concept of connection. Okay? This lady that you're speaking to right now, she's looking for connection. Is that correct?
Yes, Geraldine, you want a connection.
You want connection.
Before anything else happens, you want to know that there's a soul frequency connection that shows potential.
Andrew, you've gone to R2D2 mic again.
Yeah, your microphone's a bit wobbly there. I like to have real connections with people.
Geraldine.
Yeah.
Geraldine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so not everybody is wired the same way as you are. So as an example, some people, if you think about the chakras right now, imagine them in your head. Some people connect from the head down, some people connect from the bottom up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So not everybody will be the same as you. Now, what I am guessing from you guys, is that you want to connect from the head down. Does that make sense?
Not really, because
Okay.
I don't feel as if it's set in stone. I connect on different levels with different people depending on the type of people that they are, what the conversations are, the way
I can make this really simple for you. Let me ask you a very surgical question. I'm sorry. I like to speak surgically because okay. When was the last time you saw a man that you just wanted to football tackle in the dirt and have your way with?
About 5 years ago, maybe.
You just wanted to football tackle him into the dirt and have your way with him. Is that correct?
Well, yes, but that wasn't going to happen because he wasn't that interested. So I was fucked again, and he wasn't gay, by the way.
No. This is not about whether he was interested or not. What did you do when you saw that individual and you wanted to football tackle him in the dirt and have your way with him? What did you do? Did you do anything? Did you even say hello? Did you say, "Hi, my name is Geraldine. I'm going to football tackle you now"?
Well, we flirted a bit and had a bit of fun and a bit of a giggle and just like, a bit of banter, as they say here in Ireland, a little bit of crack.
And so you had all of that going on and you didn't football tackle him in the dirt. Why?
Because he was not interested. It wasn't good.
Did he say, "Geraldine, I'm not interested in you"?
He never said that, like the way you said it. His body language and his conversations in regards to where he was in his life. He was not in a place in his life to actually be wanting to be involved in any kind of a relationship. And he made that clear in a very nice way.
What about an hour and a half relationship?
We never said relationship. I said, when was the last time you saw a man that you just wanted to football tackle into the dirt and have your way with him? I never said anything about relationship. You see,
it was still about 5 years ago.
All right. So honestly, you saw the man, you had quick banter with him, because you see, what I'm talking about is purely carnal. But you want the connection.
It wasn't a quick banter. We were good friends and hung about for about 3.5, 4 years.
You really want connection, don't you? You're starving.
We had a connection there that was good enough for me. And I respected where he was, I respected where he was in his life's journey. And we still had intimate moments of just being together and supporting one another, and having a bit of fun at the same time.
Okay, Geraldine, can I ask you a question?
Shoot, boy. Go for it.
Good. You don't really like carnal desire, do you? When I say carnal desire, I mean desire of the body, just the body by itself. Forget about everything else you just said. Let's just concentrate on the body part.
I'd say definitely not 100%. It's like, it's not a thing that I would be focused on as my mainstream. Or would it be? No.
I didn't ask about the mainstream. I'm like, just generally, when you think about it, what happens in your head? Carnal desire, just carnality. The body, sexuality. What happens in your head?
Well, if I'm thinking about it now, what happens in my head, it's like there would have to be an element of physical attraction. And if there is, then yeah, cool. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And you think there might have to be an element of personality?
Yes, most fucking definitely.
Yeah. So basically, you just proved my point that you connect from the head down, because somebody would have to actually talk to you in order to get you interested in them, to connect down to the expression. This is how relationships work if you're looking at it from a more metaphysical standpoint. Some people connect with the head first. Hi, my name is. So the heads connect, right? Right. You introduce yourself as a soul, right? Then the next point is that you all share common interests with the third eye chakra, and you're coming down into the throat, and you're like expressing yourself to each other, and then you after expressing yourself to each other, you'll understand each other, so you'll form a heart connection, and then the issues of power and powerlessness and so on, and you got the solar plexus, and you all start to support each other meaningfully, and then it's all the way down to the carnal thing. That's who you are. Okay?
Okay.
Other people may do it the other way up, right? Now, the majority of the world, unfortunately, are doing it the other way up, right? They bounce root chakras first, and then everything sort of comes together. There is no good or bad way to do this. But my point is that, like the caller before, and this is Lionsgate, so we're bringing all the spiritual people into contact with the things that they'd like to avoid. The point from before is that you cannot be avoidant where this bottom aspect is concerned. Okay? We're trying to avoid asking surgical questions. I suspect all of us are, right? But by that same token, I suppose the question is that something that you actively avoid if it's not on a more metaphysical level? Do you avoid it in this world?
I don't think I would even consider the metaphysical aspect of it. It's like if there's a connection with somebody that is friendly or inviting, or then I would go with that. I mean, I don't need a person to be like me or to get me 100% for me to have a physical attraction to them. There's can be very beautiful people that are just not on the same spiritual journey as me, and I would find them exciting and interesting and engaging, and I would engage with them. Whether or not it's going to move into a sexual thing, to me, it's not important.
But that sexual energy is going to really heal you, and sexual energy is so important in life. And to have the sexuality and sexual energy not looked into or healed, it's causing I'd say a hole in your aura at the moment, and that's just something which needs to be filled. It might be a good idea for you to write a letter to your future lover or intimacy partner describing what you want, and see how many triggers you get, and how all these programs come up for you that you can't say what you want sexually to your future person who you're going to have sex with, woman or male, whatever. But see yourself as you do it, and allow yourself to write and say what you want in this intimacy, what and so on, and see how that feels for you. If it triggers you, then that's work you can work on. But write a letter to them what you want, and if you get stuck on writing, that's inner work. Why am I stuck? Then you've got to figure out where you're stuck, where you got that stuckness from, because it probably is in the past somewhere, and you've got to go heal that person in the past. You're very aware of healing the past and the responsibility which you have to have for that. That's my advice on that.
And read the journal back to yourself. Sorry, Donna, I was going to say, read that back to yourself so you can actually hear yourself say what you've written as well. So you're not cringing from any words that you've written, so that you're accepting of everything out in the open to yourself with this. So nothing is making you wince or feel you shouldn't go there or do that in any way at all. No holds barred.
Well said, Laura.
There are so many questions I want to ask, but I'm not doing it live.
It's no holds barred, Matty.
No.
Just said that.
Yeah, I feel you, Maddie. I feel you. There's some questions in the chat from Tara Jacobs. I think most women require connection for physical intimacy. You got to be careful with that. It's changing nowadays. It's changing. It used to be that way from Victorian times to now, but I think it's changing, and I think some of that change is purposeful change. Yeah, because physical intimacy is emotional intimacy. Yes and no. As I said, it's changing because people are becoming transactional nowadays. I give you sex, you give me popularity, money, clout, etc. Right? And also so much trauma around sex and sexuality in the collective. This vastly affects our perception of and response to sex, intimacy, and relationships. That is correct, which is why we're talking about the healing aspect of sex, because sex has been associated with so much trauma through like everywhere, even in the media right now. Sex and trauma are the same thing, huh?
You can see your trauma in your sexual behavior. You can see it. I've been on this journey, so I'm looking at my trauma from that perspective, and I wouldn't see that language if I didn't have that process. And it's like, other elements to heal, other aspects to heal.
Yeah, and I've been through having a serious stick up my backside related to. So once that was removed, I'm a lot more. I was going to say laid back about it. I'm not using very good expressions here.
So what have you got now?
A lot more
butt plug.
relaxed. This is going well.
Laura.
This is not
There's
going
something
well.
still up your butt.
Yeah.
It might be a good idea for you as well as to buy a book, which like a romantic book about lovers and intimacy, and just get yourself to read it and try and open up to it and really explore why you're avoiding it and why you're avoiding having that sexual experience. And even if you look to the past and start making excuses about the past, then that's inner work for you to do, this Lionsgate, to go back and do that inner work for those parts of you which were betrayed in the past, which were traumatized by idiots.
I think it's a joy that you're possibly denying yourself, Geraldine, for whatever
I'll tell you one thing
reason.
I'll say about Geraldine, though. Geraldine, you're a strong woman. It's obvious to everybody who's spoken to you. Everybody who knows you knows that you are a strong woman, okay? You can take whatever life throws at you, But in that process, you have to use masculinity. And that's what it comes down to. It's just that balance between the feminine and the masculine, That little tip that you need to do in order to really express that part of your femininity.
Well, I do actually enjoy putting on a dress and doing my hair and my makeup and going out and, being feminine,
But it's in every choice that we make, in our internal dialogue, in our external dialogue, you have to look out for the balance of the sexual energy within you. And I mean masculine, feminine that way, gender energy, to use a dirty word. But it's about that. It's about how you express yourself and how you make choices. Is the masculine always above the feminine? And can you bring that balance back?
Yeah, and it came up when we went up to Callanash. I think I was telling Laura about it outside one of the hotels when it was coming through really strongly that I was to go to the Stones with a dress on.
Yes.
And I remember, and things got a bit sort of chaotic, and I ended up getting up there, and I had a pair of jeans on, and of course, when I started walking, 10 steps in, the jeans kept falling down, and then you went away on the bus, and I stayed on, and I was planting the hawthorn berries. Yeah. And every time I got about 8 to 10 steps, again, the trousers were down. And it went on until I got a bit of bale string, and it was made of nylon. And so I thought, right, I'm going to overcome this. And I made myself a belt. And then, of course, because it was nylon, the knot kept slipping. And then and it was just coming through. We told you should have worn a dress. We told you should have worn a dress.
Look, that's a fucking obvious message, right?
Yes.
Take the trousers off and wear the skirt. Become the woman. Just take the man's trousers off.
Yeah.
That's the, you know, it's
Spirit
extremely
taking
symbolic.
your trousers down, Geraldine.
And
Yeah,
that,
don't be a man.
that came through then about that was one of the places where I should have embraced the feminine aspect of myself, but I had the man's fucking trousers on, which kept falling down. It's a really interesting lesson there.
Yeah, you learned the wisdom that their stones had to give you, though. You know, that wasn't a failure in any way, shape, or form.
No,
It was loud and
not
clear
at all.
message.
No,
Not at all.
I'll know what to wear the next time.
You're such fun, Geraldine. You're really great.
Oh, Geraldine's one of my favourites, man. Yeah, she's such a strong woman.
Yeah, you are.
So, guys, we've got about 5 minutes left, so let's quickly go around just a bit of advice from everyone. We'll start with David just before we say goodbye. What's your advice, Geraldine, David?
My advice to Geraldine is pretty much the advice you gave. You got to explore that aspect of yourself, cutting off that aspect of yourself. If you are feminine and you are being in the feminine, what happens is that this is not how it works. People think that if you stop the feminine, it's maintained. It doesn't work that way. The encroachment of other forces comes, like the masculine energy, and then you lose something in the process. And then to fight to get it back is a bit of a problem. You're strong. A lot of that, I also get masculine energy coming off of you, Geraldine. I really do. Okay? So
man, I'm listening to you.
Even that voice there, right? You're strong as hell. So I
was taking the piss there, by the way, David.
You're strong as hell, and I think you're physically strong as well.
Don't take me too seriously.
She'll get her balls out in a minute.
Yeah, I realize, and I suspect you're also physically strong as well. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to what's happening inside your body, right? Because here's what's going to happen. The encroachment of all that masculine energy is going to make life a little bit more difficult for you, okay? All right? So my advice to Geraldine is find somebody that you have a connection with and go tackle them into the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Well said. And Laura?
Go and get yourself some great underwear that you feel really good in, and one of those great dresses that you wear, yeah? And just go out there wherever you fancy going, and just be your beautiful divine feminine that you are, and just enjoy you for you, because you're beautiful.
I'd go and buy myself some sexy underwear. Ended up getting showed off to the whole frigging world because a guy grabbed me to do a jive with me, and had one of them A-shaped skirts, and he started twirling me about. The skirt went up like that, man. Everybody was like, I'll consider doing it again for you, Laura.
At least someone got to see it.
Yes.
The whole dance floor got to see it.
So, Matty, have you got any advice for Geraldine?
Just do it all in joy, man. Just do it all in joy.
Yeah, have fun.
Thank you, Matty.
And my advice would be to write that letter about what you want and start exploring that and seeing if you can explore it to where there's no guilt or shame when you're writing it. What you want in a sexual experience, what would be your favorite bits, and start writing that letter. Then if those programs come in, you write down a separate piece of paper about the programs, what they're doing to limit you and so on. And yeah, what an honor system, what an incredible show.
I appreciate that advice, Dale. I think it's something I can definitely move forward with. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, by the way.
Thanks, Geraldine. Great.
Thank you, Geraldine. Thank you for calling in. See you soon.
Thanks, darling. See you soon.
So, guys, before we go, how can people get a hold of you, lovely people, for sessions? We'll start with David.
Hi. Well, I just crashed the show in midway, so you can get a hold of me at info@universalcitizentv.com at any point in time, night or day, actually. It's email. Go ahead.
I was going to put the Talking Stick Show logo up, but it was hitting my head.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on, David. I really appreciate you, brother. Matty, how can people get a hold of you for sessions?
Okay, guys, so go to twofeathersmedicine.com and click on my name, and that will take you to the link where you can message me, or you can message me directly. I think. Anyway, yeah, twofeathersmedicine.com. There's also links there for our combined healing therapy in York. I'm sure Laura's going to talk about that in a moment, but the links on there, and the links are on Andrew's page as well. Are they up on Andrew's now? Laura?
I don't know.
I don't think they are yet.
Okay. Yeah, so come to twofeathersmedicine.com then, if you're interested in coming to see us at York for our combined healing therapies.
Yeah, or look out the our Facebook pages. We've posted the link up there to our website, or simply just email me, laura2feathers@gmail.com. That's with the number 2. So we have already started to sell tickets, and the official email hasn't gone out yet, but we are putting out an early preview. We're up there for about 10 days back in York. And we're doing 1, 2, 3 and 5 day packages, although we are open to also doing a personalised package for you if there's space. It includes everything that we could possibly offer you of all the different therapies that we do, from craniosacral therapy, psychic surgery, Lucia light number 3, the PEMF mat, the magnetic and crystal healing, the flotation pods, hyperbarics where that is available, and so much more. I mean, we always bring so much more to a session, and this is Andrew will be back with us then from the US, so he will be back. And this is the end of September, beginning of October. So please email me. If you can't find any of this information anywhere, please email me and I will get that straight to you, and we will get the email out with the pay now buttons as soon as we can. The other thing is we can do individuals in Brighton. Some people have asked that they prefer to come to the South Coast. We can't do it as extensively because we don't have hyperbaric here. We do have everything else. We can offer everything else. And the 4 of us, as well as practitioners in Brighton, and it could be that we set up a week nearer Christmas down here. So there are possibilities also of coming to the south. It's just taking longer to organise than New York. So there we go, guys. These healings are amazing. I don't know anybody out there who's doing them in the combination that we're doing them in, with all the extra things that we're putting in. And you only have to look at our testimonials to see what change it's bringing into people's lives and the trauma it's releasing and so on. So we're really excited about it. It's not been in the UK before that I can see anywhere, and certainly not been us with Andrew. It's a really, really exciting time for all of us. And just to say thank you, Dale, David, Matty, and Andrew, who's now on a session, and everybody who came in the chat and everybody watching. We absolutely love interacting with you. Dale, what are we doing next week? Do we know yet?
So 2 weeks time, I'm not sure about next week, but 2 weeks time we have the Talking Stick Show 100th birthday, where we'll have the 100th episode. So either we'll do a live call-in show or something different. But I just want to say thank you to everyone joining and those listening. From when I first did the first show all those years ago to how it is now, I'm just very inspired, and some of the people I've met and working with all you incredible people and friends, making friends, and all of those who have listened and watched throughout those years. I really do appreciate you. I really do. And if you'd like to get hold of me for a session, a psychic surgery session, head over to daletobin.com. Also, I'll have some workshop dates coming up to learn psychic surgery, and I'm starting to write the roadmap back to the grandmother's workshop as well. So yeah, thanks again, guys, and good night.
Thanks, everyone.